Hi everyone. This video is a book review about a book that I have had on my shelf for several years, but I am just reading it now this month. And the title of this book is Missouri Landscapes: Designs from Nature. And it is photography by Kevin Sink. Now, there were two reasons that I selected this book to read. So this year, I am focusing on books that are centered around celebrations, particular holidays, and national days, whether these national days were made up or that they were official national days. So I have all of the national days for the month of January that I want to review books on in my little binder. The next reason that I'm doing this is because I am from Missouri and I have lived here my entire life. My family moved to Missouri in 1922 from Arkansas, so we've been here a little over 100 years. I've been to different parts of Missouri, Canton, Missouri, Hannibal, Kirksville, Lake of the Ozarks, and just other parts, whether it's city or country. I feel I have seen the best and the worst of Missouri. So in this book, I'm going to be showing you photographs of landscapes of Missouri. Now, I do not know if these places still look the same because so many years have passed since Kevin Sink took the photographs of these particular places, but I still wanted to share it with you so you could see the beauty of my home state. And if you're from Missouri or you have family that lives there, feel free to comment below which part that they are in and how they like it. So before I get into this book, let me share with you a little bit about the author Kevin Sink. First, I'm going to go to his LinkedIn because his website is down. And a lot of Kevin Sink's photography is featured on Henry Domke, if you pronounce that right, Fine Art. It looks like he's in McFarland, Wisconsin. And this guy has a very nice resume. He had his own studio. I don't know if it's still open, but the studio opened in August 1989, which is funny because that was the month and the year I was born. He is an author, artist, and publisher from Designs from Nature Press, and it says 1989 to present. He was also the president of the Burroughs Audubon Society of Greater Kansas City from 1997 to 1999. He was a sales representative for Quentin Instruments Company in the late 80s. He also has 2 degrees in something I would have never thought. So his first degree is from the University of Kansas City. It looks like he has a master's or MA in physiology and cell biology. And he also has a MA in physiology and cell biology, exercise physiology from the University of Kansas. Oh, there's more. He went to Colorado Rocky Mountain School and Pembroke Hill School. So that is his very fun and interesting resume. Now, at the beginning of the book, it says that he is a native of the Kansas City area and he has traveled extensively across the United States to photograph the natural landscape. His premier book effort has focused on his affinity for the Missouri landscape. As a youth in Missouri, I watched the rhythm of the seasons year after year, and I have a fond and special memory of these times. John Schaefer, an author of several books on photographic technique, has said, "Fine photographs are those that capture the spirit as well as the light and form of their subject." Since the Missouri landscape has such a strong spirit of place for me, I thought I should take John's advice and earnestly look there for compelling photographs. It also talks about what camera he uses, and I am not a camera connoisseur, so if this is something you're interested in, I'm going to read it to you. It says the images in this book were shot with a Linhof Technikarten 4x5 view camera, or is it inch camera, with 600 mm, 210 mm, 150 mm, and 90 mm lenses. Each scene represents an average of 30 to 45 minutes of camera work, but this is just part of the time invested in each picture. Weather patterns, seasonal appearance, and time of day are all important in deciding which areas are prime. Most areas represented in the book were visited 2 to 4 times to get just the right shot. So he really went gung-ho on this book, and he collaborated with a couple of organizations. So some of the organizations that he thanked in his dedication are the Missouri Department of Conservation and the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. It says, in addition to having a huge economic impact on outdoor recreation, these preservation efforts have resulted in the conservation of extensive habitats unique to the natural history of Missouri. And then he goes on to thank several different people. So in this book, he's divided it into a couple of different chapters. Oh, he signed my book. Oh my God. I didn't know he signed my book. What? Oh, now I'm putting this in my signed by the author box, because I have a book box, a book signed particularly by the author. But anyway, so this book was published in 1999. So this year it will be 25 years old. And I feel bad that I'm putting my oily fingerprints on there, but whatever. So the first chapter is Flora, which talks about the flowers. Second is Woodland, where you're going to go see some trees. Third is Pattern. Fourth is Water. And fifth is Light. How this book is laid out, with each photograph, there is a quote that goes next to the photograph, and underneath it either talks about the flower or the plant or where the area is, and what plant you're looking at. Most of them tell you what plant you are viewing, which I really like, because some photography books, they'll be like, this is the area. Well, how am I supposed, what is that plant? I want to know what that is. What is that? But they won't tell you. So in this book, he uses quotes. A lot of the people that have said these quotes either lived out in nature or spent a lot of time in nature. So you'll see a couple of names pop up a bunch of times. So first chapter, Flora, and the quote is, heaven is under our feet as well as over our head, and it's by Over Our Heads by Henry David Thoreau. And right here, this is very beautiful. You see, right here is black-eyed Susans and pale purple coneflowers and daisy fleabane and Niawathi Prairie, Dade County. So I guess this is the black-eyed Susan. This looks like the coneflower right there. And I don't know what the other ones are. A daisy, I guess daisy, is that the one? This actually kind of reminds me of the places I went to school, because everywhere I went to school, from like elementary to high school, was always out in a cornfield. I would see cornfield, I'd see tall corn. My first school, you just see like land. My college, you would see land. I just love space. Space is something that humanity needs. Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. Very true. This next picture I really like. It's an azalea. Ooh, that's a pretty name. Hawn State Park in St. Genevieve County. And You can see the pink flower, and then it goes down to the little woods. The quote is by Henry David Thoreau again. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discovered that I had not lived. I wonder if a lot of people have just used a fraction of this quote, because this is true. This is true. Nature doesn't sugarcoat anything. Nature is as real as it gets. It might not be pretty all the time. It might be gory sometime, but nature is the real deal. It is honesty at its finest. This one, I like the quote on this picture. I'm not like, oh, this isn't my favorite picture, but I like the quote. This one right here is Bloodroot. And it's Bloodroot Blossoms, Roaring River State Park, Berry County. First, let me talk about this picture. So Bloodroot, the first time I've heard of Bloodroot was when I was reading A Wreath for Emmett Till as a child or as a teenager, and Marilyn Nelson mentioned it in one of the lines of her sonnets. It was mentioned with Indian pipe. It's like, Indian pipe, bloodroot, white as moonbeams, the flowers picked, one blackens and one bleeds. So I'm assuming, a thick red sap, Indian pipe, a weed that thrives on rot, is held in disesteem. So, bloodroot, I'm assuming, according to that poem, is when you pick it, perhaps, it will bleed a red sap, which makes sense. Goes by its name. But I've never seen one in person, and I really want to see it. Then it says, as the quote, by Big Thunder, from the Algonquin Indian tribe. I don't know if that's their actual name, because some of the tribes would have their own particular name and it would be changed by other groups. But for now, this is the tribe he came from, Big Thunder. And the quote is, the Great Spirit is our father, but the earth is our mother. She nourishes us. That which she puts into the ground, she returns to us. I think it's funny because I was just talking about this a couple of days ago when I was going on my rant and realization about money and ranting about currency, how you cannot plant $1 into a ground and it comes up and brings something back to you. It can only energetically bring something back. Whereas if I planted a seed in the ground, it will flourish. If I had an apple, that's more apple trees potential in one apple. And I like how it says the earth is our mother, because the earth is like our mother. Because when you look at ancient times, when they made images of abundance, it might be a cow, because the cow is giving milk, the cow is giving more cows and nourishment, and the mother is birthing the human race, essentially. The mother is doing that. She can create almost as many children as she possibly wants until her eggs run out. Keep the cycle going, pushing it out. We return to the earth when we die. We're buried into the ground, and our body becomes like the elements of the earth. So the earth gives us life, and then she takes us back. So I really like that quote right there. Let us see. This one I like. It reminds me of school, because my college was on top of a hill, and I actually liked running down the hill. It was on a very, very big hill. So I would like run down or roll down. It's thank God they can't cut down the clouds. And it's by Henry David Thoreau. This is in yellow coneflowers at Lodge Glade, Ha Ha Tonka State Park, Camden County. I've never heard of Ha Ha Tonka. And no, they cannot cut down the clouds, but they sure are trying to create some clouds. They're not as cute as nature's clouds, though. Nature's clouds have some personality. I want to visit a bunch of different state parks. The first state park I want to visit is George Washington Carver's State Park. Probably in Diamond Grove, Missouri. I just want to visit and see where Dr. Carver lived. Okay. This photograph, I don't really care for the image, but I like the quote. And the image is fog lifting from Ozark Valleys, Mark Twain National Forest, Berry County. I wonder if this is near the Lake of the Ozarks. I used to go to the Lake of the Ozarks as a child for camp. This is the fog lifting. Ooh. Look at the trees down there. Ooh. So it says, the tendency nowadays is to wander in wilderness is delightful to see. Thousands of tired, over-civilized people are beginning to find out that going to the mountains is going home. The wilderness is a necessity, and that mountain parks and reservations are useful not only as fountains of timber and irrigating rivers, but as fountains of life. By John Muir, M-U-I-R. I think that's why a lot of people get very depressed and very overstimulated. They get a lot of anxiety because there's no space to rest. There's no space to just be still and be quiet. And I feel like that almost every day of my life. Like, the only time I have some type of quiet is if I'm away. If I'm maybe in Creve Coeur somewhere, or I'm in my apartment, or I'm in the library, and that's really about it. Or in a church. Like sometimes I like going to a Catholic church and just sitting because it's so quiet. But a lot of people are overstimulated. They're overwhelmed. They can't think. They can't breathe. They're hearing honking cars and noise all of the time. When I first went to Chicago in the summertime, I had already been there before, but one year for my 28th, I think it was my 28th birthday, I went to Chicago just to get away from St. Louis, and that was a big mistake. My ears were ringing, and I didn't realize how loudly my ears were ringing until I went into the library, and that was the first bit of silence I ever had, and I could hear everything. It was like, I was like, ah! So yeah, I think in the future there should be more pockets of true nature. Like here in St. Louis, they're trying to like make Forest Park more natural looking, wild, even though it's by a highway, but they're trying, and I will give them that. They're trying to make pockets of hidden places. I like this picture. It's dogwood branches above East Fork Black River, Johnson Shut-ins State Park, Reynolds County. I wonder how many state parks we have in Missouri. It says, people say what we're all seeking is a meaning for life. I think what we're really seeking is an experience of being alive, so that our life experiences on the purely physical plane will have resonance within our innermost being and reality. so that we can actually feel the rapture of being alive. Look at this picture. This is fall colors along the 11-Point River, Oregon County. When the forest murmurs, there is music, ancient, everlasting. Fiona McLeod. Oh, look at that. Look. It's so pretty. I love the fall. Actually, autumn is my favorite season. I love autumn. You know why I love autumn? Because the chaos has died down. People start getting sleepy. People stop, like, being extra. People are like, ah! In the summertime. Author unknown. The young pine knows the secrets of the ground. The old pine knows the stars. This is Restored Savanna in Hahn State Park, St. Genevieve County. I've never been to St. Genevieve. I keep associating it with wine because I think that's wine country. But I even like the name St. Genevieve. St. Genevieve. I like that name, Genevieve. This is beautiful autumn. Savannas are areas with widely spaced trees where prairie grasses and wildflowers grow underneath the canopy. Much of the Ozark forests were characterized as savannas prior to the clear-cutting of virtually the entire region in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Now you made me mad. Now you done made me mad. Because all I had was a flash of people chopping down redwoods and just piles of buffalo. Like, I guess I am triggered. Reforestation efforts have led to much more dense forests we find in the region today. This is one of several outstanding examples of restored savannas at Hahn State Park, St. Genevieve County. Now I want to start donating to the conservation because the one organization I said I would donate to, but I haven't, is Forest Park Forever. Even though we're not a state park, I just love what they've done with Forest Park. They've really tried to make it like a natural landscape. It's just gotten prettier over the course of the years. This we know, the earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. All things are connected like the blood that unites us all. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. Chief Seattle. Ooh, that one is deep. This is Burr Oak on Loess Hillside, Jamerson C. McCormick Conservation, Holt County. I just looked at it for the quote because it's true. Just the thought of owning land is laughable. You don't own nothing. You don't own land. You didn't make the land. The universe made the land. You're here to share it with people. Just the fact that I have to pay for shelter is disgusting to me personally. I'm not saying I'm not going to give like my landlord or anybody else money, but I just feel it's just disgusting. Like, why are we paying for shelter and food? It's a human right. We need shelter over our heads. In the past, your village would help you build your shelter, but we don't really have a village anymore like that. That's why it's hard to not know your neighbors and different things. Like, you knew your neighbors in the past because generations grew up in the same area and they had the same traditions and all of that, or the same similar mindset and moral code. But now we're all so different. We have to figure out how to put those aside to live in peace and harmony. But it's challenging. It's challenging. Like, where I'm at, I feel like it's kind of neighborhoody, but then at the same time, like, you might get, you might a bang bang or something if you're on the wrong street. Let's see. I love this picture. This is red maple in Ha-Ha-Tonka State Park, Camden County. I'm going to visit Ha-Ha-Tonka. This is so beautiful. But this is the quote. The greatest wonder is that we can see these trees and not wonder more. Ralph Waldo Emerson. This is so interesting because there was a lady who I came across in a video. It was like a YouTube short. She was in her 80s. And she said something along the lines of, like, you don't really need to know everything. There's just some things you don't really need to know. Which makes sense. Like, we take the juice out of life by trying to solve great mysteries instead of letting it be a mystery. Like, some things are beautiful as a mystery. A baby is a mystery. Technically. Like, we don't know what this child will become. Like, we can't see it forming unless we put a camera in there, you know. I don't know how much damage it does to the baby to put a camera in there, but it's a mystery. We don't know what soul is growing in there. We just don't know until it emerges into the world and grows over the course of time. So this one, next chapter, is patterns. And I guess it's like the patterns of nature. This right here is very pretty. You can see the patterns on the granite and the patterns on the trees. And granite boulders and dogwood tree in Elephant Rock State Park, Iron County. Peace comes within the souls of men when they realize their relationship, their oneness with the universe and all its powers, and when they realize that at the center of the universe dwells Wakantanka, Great Spirit, and that this center is really everywhere. It is within each of us. Black Elk. I think I reviewed a book on Black Elk a long time ago. That's beautiful. I like this one because it has lotus flowers. American lotus at Otter Slough Conservation Area, Stoddard County. Look at the lotus. Only other place I've seen like lotus, I know definitely Tower Grove Park. I don't know Forest Park though. Nature is an infinite sphere, of which the center is everywhere, the circumference nowhere. Blaise Pascal. Okay. This one is pretty, even though winter is not my favorite place or time. I like winter because of the hibernation. But it says hoarfrost on bittersweet berries, Dorset Hill Prairie, Cass County. Can you feel the cold in this picture? Because I can. I can actually hear the berries rustling. That's how it sounds. That's how winter sounds to me for you. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Okay. That is true. Because if I was nature, I would have whooped all of us. I'm like, let me get my belt. Oh, you want to cut down my trees? Earthquake. Oh, okay. You want to throw stuff in my ocean? Tsunami. I don't know. That's how I would feel. Like, the earth is way too forgiving, and I would have evicted most of us. Except maybe, like, a shepherd boy somewhere. Or I'd have to, like, you're going to have to go through an interviewing process to come here and stay here. That's why I'm not the earth, because I just don't have the patience. I just don't. Why do you love us so much? Why? You know we're just children who just grow bigger. Let's see. This one is beautiful. Leaves. Ooh, autumn leaves. Crunch, 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 crunch. Crunch, 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 crunch. Well, it doesn't sound like crunch, crunch. It's like you can hear it's not crunchy yet because you still see it has moisture. So it's kind of like very soft. But when it's dry, you'll hear the crunch. But right now, you just hear the rustle. Sugar Maple and Switchgrass, Watkins Woolen Mill State Park, Clay County. Aspen and Sumac leaves, Thousand Hills State Park, Adair County. And the quote is, "The last word in ignorance is the man who says of an animal or plant, 'What good is it?'" That's deep. Hold on, this is getting too personal. "If the biota in the course of aeons has built something we like but do not understand, then who but a fool would discard seemingly useless parts? To keep every cog and wheel is the first precaution of intelligent thinking." Aldo Leopold. That is so true. Every day I meet somebody who want to disrespect the plants. They'll be like, "Well, this plant is better than that plant." Is your child better than your other child? Because that's essentially what you're saying. Because if there was a best herb and if there was a best plant, there would be no other plants. There would only be the best, right? So why are all these other plants here? Each one was designed special. It has its own special spirit, its own special energy, its own special DNA. And we want to disrespect the plant just because it's not popular or we never heard of it before. Like, what if it's just there just to be there? If it's here, it can't be useless. It's here. Nature made it. It has to have some type of use. Just like how I hate the mouse that's somewhere hiding around here. I wish I could just get a cat to swallow that thing. However, why are you here, mouse? Why? Why are you here? Why did God make you? God made you for some reason. If you exist, you must have some purpose, even though I can't see it. You get on my last nerves, but you're special and God loves you. And deep down in my heart, I'm sure I love you too. But I haven't gotten to that. Level yet. This is another St. Genevieve County picture, red maple above Pickle Creek. And the quote is, "Nothing is rich but the inexhaustible wealth of nature. She shows us only surfaces, but she is million fathoms deep." Ralph Waldo Emerson. That's true. Everybody is still discovering all of the elements of nature. We still haven't even discovered everything that's in the ocean. Some of the stuff they bring up from the ocean is good, kind of freaky looking. It's kind of scary. Looked like something from a horror movie. But nature made it scary looking. Nature wanted to just go all ham and put a light bulb on a fish's head and give it some sharp teeth, make it look like the thing from Nightmares. And there it is, in the abyss. Like, like, what does that fish look like? What is that fish called? I just know it's scary and I don't want to see it in real life. I mean, maybe in an aquarium, but nature thought it was cute. Just like, look, here you go. There are animals and plants that look like something else. That's crazy. It's like some Uno reverse card. I don't know. It's like, gotcha, surprise. You thought it was a cucumber, but it was really an animal. You thought it was a stick, but it was really a cricket. Why do you do this? You playing some mind games on me. Okay, let us. Okay, let me finish. Let me finish with the last few pictures, so this video won't be too long. Okay, we'll do like 2 from water. So water. This is gorgeous. We would even be as water, which is lower than all things, yet stronger even than the rocks. East Fork Black River flows through rocks formed 1.5 billion years ago. Johnson Shut-ins State Park. Okay, I'm going to visit this place. This is gorgeous. Look at the gushing water. Oh my God. Oh, there's another picture in here that I really want to show you of water. It is so pretty. Okay. It was like ice water. And I don't know which page it was. Oh, where are you? Where? Oh, I guess I skipped it. Wow. Wow, Kiara. Oh, well. I don't know where this is. This is gorgeous. Tupelo and cypress trees at one of the best and very few remaining examples of how the Missouri boot heel used to look before settlement. Now this is abundance. And this is our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. William Shakespeare. Oh, I found it! I found it, everyone! Look at this. Okay, I know I talked trash about winter, but wow, look, you got the icicles. Wow. Falling spring at 5 degrees, Mark Twain National Park, Oregon County. Ancient Indian proverb, treat the earth well. It was not given to you by your parents. It was loaned to you by your children. This one I like the picture. It looks like coneflower. Is this a coneflower? Okay, coneflower and black-eyed Susan. Let me see if I'm right. Pale purple coneflowers and black-eyed Susans at Sheldon L. Cook Memorial Meadow, Barton County. This quote is by Anonymous. We cannot make America over again, as it was in the beginning, but we can come to what is left of our heritage with a patriot's reverence. Okay. This one is beautiful. It's the fall foliage along the Glade Top Trail, Mark Twain National Forest, Ozark County. This chapter is Light. I forgot to tell you the title of this chapter. It's Light. Earth crammed with heaven and every common bush of fire with God, but only he who sees takes off his shoes. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Last picture. Fire. Okay. It's basically a sunset. Bur oak and cedar trees share a sunset. Henry County. Last quote by Dag Hammarskjöld. So rests the sky against the earth, as a husband embraces his wife's body in faithful tenderness, so the bare ground and trees are embraced by the still high light of the morning. I feel an ache of longing to share in this embrace, to be united and absorbed, a longing like carnal desire, but directed towards earth, water, sky, and returned by the whispers of the trees, the fragrance of the soil, the caresses of the wind, and the embrace of water and light. The end. Oh, and there's a bibliography where you can find most of the quotes that were listed in this book. I really liked this book. If I had to give it fudge buckets, I would give it maybe like, I want to give it like 4.5 fudge buckets. And the reason I give it that is because it was really good. I really liked it. It had nice pictures. I think it would be good to have as a conversation piece, a coffee table. You can look at it during meditation. The only reason that it didn't get as high is because I felt there wasn't enough like photographs of like, wow, that's amazing. Like I felt it was kind of cool, but it didn't like stand out like, oh wow, that's amazing. Like a couple of pictures did, but not like all of them. They were good, but they weren't like, oh my, wow, I can't believe it, or I can't stop looking. Also, lack of diversity in the quotes. I wish there had been more women quotes too. Like I like having a balance. Like maybe some African proverbs, maybe some Aboriginal people in Australia, like people from South America, like, you know, somewhere. All over the world from all different backgrounds. I think he tried because I saw some quotes from the Upanishads, that was one. The Buddha, some Mahatma Gandhi, some of the indigenous Americans, early settlers. But yeah, I really liked this book. Happy National Missouri Day to all of you. And the next time we're going to do something for Missouri is March 14th, which is 314 Day in St. Louis. That's our area code. It's going to be ratchet, except here we're going to be classy, but outside it's going to be ratchet. And that's okay, because that's how we roll over here. So, happy reading to all of you. I will be uploading another video very, very soon because there's another National Celebration Day coming soon. I'll talk to you later.